In this video, I will show you how to create your logo. You will find 6 images by image searching one or more of the foreign language words from the naming exercise you did for your last project. So I Google image searched the word control, spelt as the Turkish translation of the word control. You shouldn't use images of paintings, drawings, cartoons, diagrams, or other graphics other than a photorealistic image, such as this one that I have here. So you will save this image that you found in your 6 images, and then you will bring it into Photoshop. Now, we aren't interested in the full context of the image. We just want to isolate one essential image to use as a logo. So we will crop this image, and we will crop it to 200 pixels wide, 200 pixels high, 72 dpi. So click the crop button in Photoshop, 200 by 200. And 72 at the top. Then click the check mark, and then you will save this and bring into Illustrator for the next part of this project. So you will click File, New, select 1920 by 1080, Create, and then you will bring in your image onto this new background. Now I just dragged the image I already had open, but you will do File, Place, and then select your image that way. Now I will make this image larger just to show the next step better. So you select your image, then you click Object, and Image Trace, Make and Expand. Now this will trace the image and make it a black and white. And if you want, you can click Effect, Stylize, and round the corners just to make the edges a little more smooth. Then you will save this, or you could use Shift K for this part to slice it into 2 images because we want to create 2 elements of our one element selected. But for this part, I will go into Photoshop to show you how to do this. So you bring your image into Photoshop, and I will draw a line down the center of it so that I can make it exactly 2 elements. I'm going to make the line a little bit less thick and more precise. Now I'm going to click the rectangular marquee tool to select half of it. I'm zooming in a bit. So you select half of the shape. Make sure you're on the correct background layer so you can select the actual shape and not just the blank spaces on the other layer. Hit Control C, then Control V to copy and paste. Go back to that original layer and do the same thing on the other side. Control C, Control V. Now, naturally, both halves of this shape are on 2 different layers, and that's good because we want them on 2 different layers to manipulate them later in After Effects for your motion graphic portion of this project. So now you go to the line layer. We don't need this anymore, so I'm just going to delete it. And then we don't need this background layer anymore. So I'm going to delete that too. And then I'm going to select the white background because we don't want that there, we want it to be transparent. So select each part of that white background and then go to the second layer and do the same thing to that background. Now I'm using the magic wand tool for that. Now go to the layers and click the plus sign to make 2 more layers. Now hit the rectangle tool on one of these new layers and we want to just make a plain white background. And get rid of that border by going to Appearance, Stroke, and getting rid of that border like that. So we made this plain white background. In order to see what you are doing, the video and film setup in Illustrator generates a transparent background, making it sometimes difficult to see where elements are located within the artboard or the workspace of the software. So you will delete this white background later when you are done with this part of the project. And then you can rearrange these layers so that you can see your both halves of your logo image.